Last time we caught the killer. This time we're going to talk about the spiritual activity in my haunted hotel room. After I figured out that Bonnie Jolin did get murdered, Ernest Kent Simpkins did murder her, I had to figure this out because there is very, very few articles. There's maybe 5. One of them is a paid article. Okay, so you can't just find it online easily. I started talking to my people. I called my sister and I told her the story. We were both freaking out. And I sent her the articles that I had, and she called me back and was like, Chauncey, Bonnie was found at 6 a.m. And that's when the fire alarm went off. Ding, ding, ding. Hello. That made me know, oh my gosh, I gotta go. I need to look at the timing of that video. And that's when I found what I found in my video. Okay. For some reason, you guys, I just decided I'm going to record this and post it online. Like, how weird the fire alarm's going off. Like at 6 in the morning, that's my thought. I also had the thoughts going in my head. Wait, I literally thought about this. What the heck? I've already been kind of thinking there's energy in this room. So I pull up the video, and in the end, you can see one single orb floating down the screen. Okay, that's not where it ends. I zoom in, and there is a man's face literally in the orb. Okay, I'm going to show you, and you can see it's kind of hard. You have to like get your eyes to see it. So hopefully you can see it. But you guys, it's literally Ernest's face in the orb. Are you kidding me? If you know anything about spiritual activity, haunted places, haunted hotel rooms, they do exactly what happened. They find certain times and they sync things up. So it's not an accident that the fire alarm went off exactly when Bonnie Jolin's body was found. That is the key, like, light bulb moment that happened when I was like, oh my gosh, somebody literally died in here. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. So, my main thing is that I was on a hunt to figure out which room Bonnie died in. To this day, I have not figured that out yet. I don't blame Peppermill for hiding this murder, but it's very frustrating because I don't know which room she died in. I've stayed in multiple suites, and that's the only one that I've felt that energy. It's the only one that I have had weird things happen in. That room. That's it. So I got to work. I started searching for case files. I know there's podcasters that find case files, but guess what? Nevada only releases their case files if you are a lawyer. You have to be a lawyer in Nevada. So that was a dead end for me there. I got online and I searched all of the jails and the prisons to see like dates, like when was this man released? If he was, what's the story? When was he checked in? And you guys, there's hardly anything. I did at one point find that he did get a DUI and he was checked into the Utah County Jail back in 1990. I'm pretty sure November 7th is when he was arrested. So 7 months or 8 months after Bonnie did die, he got arrested, and I'm pretty sure he got sent to the Salt Lake County, or yeah, the Salt Lake County jail. But the records are like gone. At one point, I could find that he was in jail in Nevada, but every time I go to look since I've started doing this case again, everything is gone. Literally, I can't find a single record of him being in jail. And that's not like, it gets weirder, you guys. All of these links will disappear. Disappear. Literally can't find them anymore. I know that that is spiritual activity. Energies will communicate through numbers. They'll glitch out your computers, your search bars, all of that kind of stuff. So it's not like, why is this happening? I'm like, this is really happening, you guys. So I decided to look up Bonnie to see what I could find from her. And I still have yet to find a picture of her. I do not know what she looks like. I was able, after a lot of digging, I was able to find her obituary, and it's like this long. It's super tiny. There's a lot of family names. And so I was like, well, maybe there's somebody still alive because this wasn't too long ago. So I started typing in all of her family. And there's one person out of all the people that I searched. Her name was Lisa Gent. And I thought maybe on Facebook, maybe this is her. But some of the things just weren't adding up. And so I just kind of like left it at that. But don't you worry, Ernest's obituary, because he did end up passing away in 2013. His obituary is just so easy to find. It's very interesting. That's the one thing that I can find every single time. I was like, okay, you guys, I am going to figure this out. I need to find people in Wendover next time I go, and I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to ask questions, but I'm really shy in public. And so I don't want to just like walk up to people and be like, hey, do you know about the murder in the pepper mill? I also didn't know if people were even going to be allowed to talk about it. So one day in December, December 27th to be exact, we decided last minute to head out to Wendover. I did have an eye doctor appointment. So I was like, let's go to the eye appointment and then we'll drive to Wendover right after. I go to my eye appointment and I've been there multiple times because I was in the process of getting new contacts. I have never waited for somebody to go ahead of me. Like I was always the only person in the waiting room. But this day, someone was waiting, and the eye doctor walks out and he calls the man to come back, and his name was Ernest. And I was like, what? Like, that is not an accident. Now Bonnie's back in my mind. I kind of was not really like thinking about it all the time anymore. So I was like, that's kind of weird. Okay, whatever. We drive to Wendover and I say, it's a pretty small town. And I was like, let's just drive around the town. Like, I don't know. Let's just see what else is around here. Where do people live? Like, I don't even know. So we drive around and I like spot the library. And I was like, wait, the library. Maybe I could find like old newspapers or something like that. And then I end up finding where the fire station is. So then I knew exactly where the fire station was to the hotel, knowing like timing did match up with like the 6 to 6:15, like just all these little things adding up that I'm like, that's kind of weird that I'm randomly just noticing that now. We go to check into our hotel room. Since October, now we're in December, we've never stayed on the second floor and we've gone back multiple times. We get our room, we're on the second floor. And I was like, okay, all this stuff is just weird. Like Ernest, now I find the library and the fire station, and we're on the second floor for the first time. I had never walked past that room yet. So I was like, okay, it's fine. So we start walking around. We're, walking around the casino. And I just get this like little nudge to check my phone. So I like grab my phone and all of a sudden I have this notification and it says Facebook friend suggestion, which I never, ever, ever get those. It's only happened now 3 times. And it was the name Lisa Gent, which, if you remember, I looked up that name from Bonnie's obituary. So I am like, oh my gosh, what just happened? All of these things are lining up. What is going on? I get on the internet and I'm like, I need to remember who Lisa Gent was. I don't remember like which family member, any of that. And you guys, I couldn't find her obituary anywhere. I typed in multiple ways. I texted a client. She was looking. Neither of us could find Bonnie's obituary. So now I'm like, I don't know who this lady is. And we'll just leave it at that. Like, I don't know what to do. I also am thinking, maybe I'm going to have to talk to somebody. Maybe I'm going to have to walk up to a stranger that works here and be a crazy person and say something. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I walk to the bathroom and then there's these 2 ladies sitting behind this desk that's always busy. I've seen these ladies multiple times. They're by themselves. And I was like, okay. If I walk into the bathroom and I walk back out and nobody's there still, I'm gonna walk up to them and I'm gonna ask them about Bonnie. So I walk out and one of the ladies was able to help. And so I was like, just go. So I walk up and I'm like, hey, I have the weirdest question to ask you. And I don't even know how to ask you. I'm just going to say it, but I'm a medium. I'm wondering if you know anything about the murder that happened in 2017 in the Pepper Mill Casino. And she looked at me and she said, yeah, but we're not supposed to talk about it. And I was like, I thought that might be the case. I was like, do you know, like, is there anybody that works here that has been working that long? And she goes, that lady right there. And I was like, are you serious? Mind you, before this time I went to Wendover, the last time I literally said in my head, Bonnie, if you need me to do something, you need to connect me to the right people because I don't know why you're connecting to me. So here I am talking to this girl. She says, that lady has worked here all that time. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, we're not supposed to talk about it. And I've only worked here for 5 years. So I didn't work here when it happened. But let me go ask her. And I was like, okay. So she walks over and I see the lady that she's talking to. And all I see is her going, we're not supposed to talk about it. And I was like, dang it. So she walks back over and she says, yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it. But I will tell you, every time I walk into that casino, I can feel the presence of those souls. And she was about to say more. And the lady pulls her over and says, come back over here. And I was like, oh my gosh. So she walks back over there. They talk for what felt like was 5 minutes. I felt so awkward. And then they both walk over. So this lady that's been working here for who knows how long walks over and says, we're not supposed to talk about it. And I was like, okay, that's okay. Like, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm a medium and these souls have connected to me. And it's the murder that happened in 2007. And she was like, I will tell you, every single death that has happened since 2003 to 2023 has never involved foul play. And I'm like, wait, so there's more deaths?